A very good day to doctor. My name is Siwei Hong. My matrix number is N6992A. In this video, I'm going to replicate my work of WBS work breakdown structure of development of payroll system into the Microsoft project. Before I start, this is the Microsoft Excel generated by Gemini in my last video. So for now, I'm going to use this information to be imported into the Microsoft project. So go back to the project. We open a new from Excel workbook and we select the Microsoft Excel just now. We click on next, and here we select task, payroll. As you can see here, the Excel is haven't linked to the project yet, so we need to key in the field by ourselves. So for the WBS ID, we key in ID. SDLC phrases is WBS successors. Description is name. Start date is start. Duration days is duration. And last predecessor is WBS predecessors. Next and finish. As we can see here, the Gantt chart is already generated, but it haven't linked to each other yet because the predecessor is still blank. So for now, we need to key in the predecessors based on the Microsoft Excel just now. Now we move back to the Microsoft Excel. For the first activities, the predecessor is known, so we need to maintain blank here. For the second activities, it linked to the 1.1 requirements gathering analysis, so we need to link to the set activities. Next activities link to the 1.2 feasibility study and approval. Link it to the set activities. For next activities, detailed physical design is the parent task for these three subtasks, so we need to leave it blank. Next, we select these three subtasks and we click on this intent task. Now these three tasks have become the subtasks for the detailed physical designs. For the predecessors, they link to the 2.1 consensus system and data monitoring. So we click on same activities. Next activity is core system coding is also a parent task for these two subtasks. So we repeat the same procedures by intent task it. Now these two tasks have become the subtasks for core system coding. For the predecessors, as we can see, these two subtasks are linked directly to the tree, which is the parent task. However, we need to avoid by linking it directly to the parent task to avoid any errors. Rather than, we need to link it directly to the subtask. So for the next activities, as we can see, it also linked to the parent task. With the same reasons, we link to the subtask for it. For the last activities, it linked to 4.3 data conversion and deployment. So we click on same activities. Now I have successfully keyed in all the predecessors. Now we look at the Gantt chart. As you can see, now there is a connection between the Gantt chart after I have keyed in the predecessors. Next, the critical path can also be highlighted in this Gantt chart under the Gantt chart format and click on the critical task. So this red color bars represents the critical path for these projects. And we can also show the duration for this critical path under the format bar styles. And we search for the critical. Under the text, we replace the resource names with the durations. So these days represent the maximum days for each critical path. And this represents the maximum days that each activities can undergo. Otherwise, the project's completion date will be delayed entirely. And also, we can generate the PERT chart in Microsoft Projects under the view and click on the network diagram. So this is the PERT chart generated by the Microsoft Projects. And we can highlight the critical path in this PERT chart under the network diagram and click on the box styles under the critical. Select the border colors as black and the background colors as red. So the red boxes represent the critical path for this project. For these two boxes are the parent tasks. It shows the linkage. When I close the box, the subtask will be gone. And if I open back, it shows the connection with the subtask. Now I'm going to do the comparisons between Microsoft projects and Google Gemini. So for the Gantt chart, it shows a high similarity between Google Gemini's and Microsoft projects. However, there is an inconsistent in Google Gemini's generated Gantt charts, where 1.2 conceptual design does not include in the Gantt chart. As we can see here, the Google Gemini generated Gantt charts have 13 activities. So this represents an inconsistent or weaknesses in AI tools. So now we move to the network diagrams per chart. As we can see here, the Google Gemini separate the 1.1 and 1.2 activities. How in reality, the 1.1 should be linked to the 1.2. So this also shows the inconsistent or weaknesses of Google Gemini. For other activities, 1.1 to 1.2, 1.2 go to 2.1, and 2.1 go to subtask 1, 2, and 3, which is 3.1, 2, and 3. And these three subtasks in Google Gemini, they go to the parent task, which it represents in this box. And the parent task in Google Gemini go to subtask 4.1, 4.2 subtask, and it's also linked to the parent task, and the parent task will go to the 4.3, which is this one, data conversions, and last it will link to the system monitoring, which is 5.1. So this shows a high similar, but it shows weaknesses in AI tools. So that's all for my presentations. Thank you.